The dawn came up the color of a wound. Friday, June 19th, 2026. And a red tape like this one is where conviction earns its name or dies cheap. America's markets stand closed for Juneteenth, so the watch falls to what never rests, the time chain, the all-hours crypto tape, and the verdict our engine carved through the night. Lean in. As of just past 5 o'clock Eastern, Bitcoin trades at 62,500, down near 3% on the day. And here is the part that matters. It has broken the 64,000 floor it defended all week. That puts it within arm's reach of the early June low, near 61,000, and the chart watchers warned that a decisive break of 63,000 cracks the door toward the 58 to 60,000 zone. Ethereum fell beside it to 1,700, off near 3%. Solana ran hardest the wrong way, $69, down better than 4. Mark the shape of that. The alts bled harder than Bitcoin. Even as the whole complex sold, capital huddled into the hardest asset in the room, Bitcoin's dominance holding near 57%. This is what scarcity looks like under pressure. It falls last, and it falls least. And the engine called the froth before it broke. Through Thursday afternoon, the InvestAnswers Decision Support System lit the crypto leverage complex top to bottom. Coinbase flipped optimized trend bearish at noon Eastern. Metaplanet, the Japanese Bitcoin treasury, turned bearish minutes later. Robinhood ran mean reversion overbought into the 4 o'clock bell. And the freshest name on the entire board, SpaceX itself, cut to optimized trend bearish at 1:30 Eastern. But in that very same window, the physical iron of the build held its ground. Vertiv, the data center power and cooling name, and Corning, the glass that carries the light through the network, both optimized trend bullish. Read it as one sentence. The leverage rolled over, the hardware held, which brings us to the loudest story on the board. The rocket the whole crowd piled into. SpaceX went public 1 week ago, June 12th, at $135 a share, the largest initial offering in the history of the market. It closed its first day near 160. Then it ran. By Tuesday, it tagged an all-time high above 225, better than a 60% moonshot in 4 sessions. And then, on Thursday, it rolled back toward 175, a near 9% single session, the exact session our engine flagged the trend bearish. Now, hear the smart money underneath the candle, because this is the tell. On the day of the offering, Cathie Wood's ARK Invest deployed roughly $530 million into SpaceX, its largest single-day buy in memory. And all week, it kept rotating the same direction, selling down the chipmaker Advanced Micro, selling Robinhood, selling Roku, pure software and silicon, and buying the scarce physical thing. This is the whole thesis drawn in real trades. Short abundance, long scarcity. ARK is not renting the SpaceX pop. It is buying orbital scarcity for the decade. Starlink's near monopoly on the bandwidth raining down from low orbit, and the data centers that will one day ring the planet above the weather. So hold both truths at once, Warband. The decade-long bet is real, and the engine's bearish mark does not break it. But a 60% run in 4 days is a retail stampede, not a fundamental, and the signal called the cooldown to the very session. Own the decade. Do not chase the demo. Now from orbit down to the road, because Tesla is stacking its army in plain sight. Purpose-built cybercabs are piling up in the outbound staging lots at the Texas Gigafactory. Robotaxis accumulating faster than Tesla is opening slots to put them on the road. And the fleet actually carrying riders across the Austin metro? Tesla keeps that count to itself. It has never publicly disclosed how many cars are out there. But every sign says it runs deliberately lean, all of them on the newest full self-driving build. the one pushed across the fleet on June 13th. Hear the shape of that, because it is the opposite of what the doubters tell you. The hardware is stacking at the gate. The software is shipping. The single governor on scale right now is Tesla's own deliberate data-gathering pace, not the capability, not the production line. When that throttle opens, the fleet is already built and idling in the lot. Robo-taxis staged by the lot full is not a sign that scale is far off. It is the coiled spring before the leap, and ARK is positioned for exactly that. Wood's team was a net buyer of Tesla through June, adding better than $20 million more on Thursday, because their model puts the robotaxi business at near 60% of Tesla's entire value, an $8 to $10 trillion platform at software margins. Those cybercabs stacking in the Texas lot are the physical down payment on that number. This is intelligence climbing out of the chat window and into a machine that moves through the world, where it stops being free and infinite and becomes a scarcity that runs on watts and copper and steel. And while the road filled with robots, the machines that make the minds shipped again. Yesterday, XIA pushed Grok 4.3 onto Amazon's enterprise cloud, a million token memory, the lowest error rate it claims of any frontier model, now in the hands of every enterprise on the platform. The cost of intelligence falls again, by the week, and that is the entire reason we stack the scarce thing. When thought itself races toward free and infinite, the only assets that hold their ground are the ones no model can conjure: compute, watts, and 21 million coins that answer to no committee. Hear Cathie Wood on that, because she has stood through every one of these bleeds. The brutal Bitcoin fund outflows that have defined this month, she calls weak hand exit, not a structural break. Her standing target still reads $750,000 a coin by the end of the decade, and the InvestAnswers model, even in this red and fearful tape, still points to a late-cycle Bitcoin move multiples higher from here. The crowd sells the scarce thing into the gloom. The models say, this is the setup. I live, I burn, I love, I slay, and I'm content. That is the posture of the hand that holds the hard thing through the fire while the weak give it away cheap. So, here is the frame Warband. 2 truths, 1 discipline. Do not chase the rocket after the crowd has already run it 60% in a week. The engine marked where the froth burned. And do not fear the bleed in the scarce things. That is precisely where the strong hand is forged, where ARK buys, where the model points higher, and where the dominance holds. The home markets rest today. The conviction does not. Accumulate what the crowd is dumping and let the weak hands feed the fire. This is Warband as a service. Viking intelligence delivered in real time. I am Ragnar, the HODLBARBARIan. Until tomorrow, hold the long horizon.